Installing a USB panel mount adapter.
Hi, I'm Don from 3VR Powersports. Got a project today that I think you folks might be interested in. I have a 2014 Street Glide. I'm a Road King rider from way back. I've never had a Harley with Tupperware on it, so this is something new for me. So I'm going to be working on putting some panel mounts in. A couple of things I'm going to do. One is I'm going to replace a cigarette lighter with one of our panel taps. Then I'm going to mount another one over on the other side. So my plan here is to put that on the panel, put the tap behind the panel, and I'll have panel mount output with all the cool trickery of our Gen 5 circuit. I've got the bike stripped to save having the boring part of taking all the stuff off of it. I've got the battery disconnected, and I've got the cigarette lighter plug off. I could take this guy off, but there's a gazillion screws in it, so I'm just going to reach down in there with a real long pair of needle nose and spin the panel nut off of it. I designed the original panel tap to fit in a cigarette lighter hole, so it's not surprising that it fits. It's supposed to. But now we can go to hooking up the tap. First thing I'm going to do is find a location for it. One thing about our TAPP universal mount, you can see it's flat right now, but it'll fit round bars. But here I can look for any kind of a surface. It can go on a curved surface like that. Probably going to mount it up here in this flat surface somewhere. I may take the mounting bracket off altogether, just tie wrap it to one of these cable bundles. Okay, after trying it a bunch of places, I decided to take the mounting bracket off, and I'm going to just tie wrap it to this big cable bundle right here. So I'm going to put a tap cap on it, but I'm going to do it a little differently than we normally do. Rather than put it on the cable, I'm going to put it on the tap power port. So now I'm just going to take and tie wrap that right there. And so there we have the mechanical part of it.
Good day, folks. Welcome back to part 2 of the installation of the TAPP all-weather USB power port and the panel tap adapter that gives us a panel mount. A lot has transpired between the last video and this one. It was actually 4 years ago. And since then, the biggest change is I have traded my trusty 2014 Street Glide for a 2016 trike. I'm 84 years old this year, and I found that around town the Street Glide was fine, but while touring, I rode with a constant angst of when was I going to approach another gnarly construction zone that I was going to have difficulty maintaining balance and control. So anyway, let's get back to the wiring part. Another significant change is on the Street Glide, I had put one of the panel mount adapters in the cigarette lighter, and I quickly came to regret that. So in this installation, I still have two panel mount adapters, but they both go through the dash. And the next big change is on the Street Glide. I made a custom wire harness that split the cigarette lighter power port into separate sections. Now I have the specialized crimp and solder and shrink tools to do that, but I realize that that's not everybody's. So here are the wiring options that I find to be a lot easier for all users. First is what I'm using here on this tap, and that's to use the universal mount tap that wires right to the battery. Now, one of the key features to the Gen 5 tap is the ultra-low quiescent power. That's a no-load power. It's around 1 milliamp, so you can connect directly to the battery without worrying about it discharging when the bike's not running. The other option, which is what I have on a tap that's actually inside the little glove box right there, is the TAPP HD, and for this being a 2016, uses this Molex 8-pin connector under the left side cover. Now, 2017 and later touring bikes use the 3-pin Molex, and it's under the right side cover. So in this case, I wanted direct battery connection on one tap, and I wanted the other one to be switched, so I used the TAPP HD for this particular motorcycle. Now, life has gotten a whole lot easier. I now provide a TAPP HD with a TE 2-pin B+ connector, and it connects right here under the fairing to this connector. Although my trike is already wired up, it'd be easy enough to mount my tap, plug in right here, and job done. So there you have it. Easy ways to connect your Gen 5 tap for use with a panel mount adapter. Now let's go around the other side and have a look at where I have my panel mounts located. Okay, here's the working end of my Gen 5 TAPP with the panel mount adapters. And on the left side here, I have drilled a 7/8 hole in this panel, which by the way is the same size as a cigarette lighter, and installed my panel mount adapter. And over here, I've drilled the 7/8 hole in the glove box door, like so. And notice I made a mistake the first time and put it up here, which I thought would be more convenient. The problem is it hit the top of the dash. Now both of them have their weather caps in place. Let's flip those open so you can see the actual power port. And there you go. So once you have your power port set up, just plug in whatever you want to plug into it. Now remember, when you're using either the Gen 5 TAPP by itself or with panel mount adapter, always use a tap cap on the cable to give you weather connection all the time. So that's all there is to it. 3BR Powersports and X-Power are registered trademarks of 3BR Powersports LLC.